from a vengeance point of perspective. It's simply a story about a scientist who was treated unfairly in the Cultural Revolution, contacts the alien and calls for them to reform Earth. So judging from the first book, it's as if Cixin Liu see the proper punishment for the craziness in Cultural Revolution in old China is the annihilation of the whole human race. I think this also was reflected in so many sympathetic lights he had shed on the villain. There is no other word other than madness which can describe the situation back then. And it turns out the madness that humanity can no longer rely on its power to suppress is Ye Wenjie herself. I remember one of the commentators said probably one book of Cixin Liu can be developed into 10 movies, and he gave you in one book. I agree. I think those books, 3 books, can be at least developed into 7 books. For example, he can definitely spin off some of the history events described in the book that was only slightly touched upon. For example, what was it like to live on the second Red Coast ship, or deliver a fuller picture of the life on that ship. And there's another scene that I'm quite impressed with is a small detail only mentioned in one sentence. In the Doomsday Battle, a ship, like almost all of the Earth's fleet, was destroyed by the droplet. There were 2 ships out of those destroyed died in especially tragic deaths. I remember one of the ship's name is Einstein, so they decided to accelerate to the fastest they can do to preserve the body of the ship, because they know without protection, once you accelerate to that speed, all of the crew would die a very tragic death, be squashed to death by gravity. Or you can make a spin-off of the micro-universes mentioned in the first book, The Three-Body Problem. The micro-universe was only mentioned during the process of the Trisolarian trying to unfold a photon. And during one of the failures, structures came out of the photon, actually combined together to form a big lenses that concentrates lights to try to burn Trisolarian city. So this is explained as an intelligence being in the micro-universe trying to fight back the Trisolarian, which is fascinating because it means that all the particles is actually tiny micro-universes. This itself can definitely be a spin-off. I think whoever, if it's the Netflix or somebody else who added it onto the screen, will definitely have a lot of work, because a lot of the major things were only merely described in a textbook style in the books. Be aware, as the cult-ish like fans in China already have the Tencent version of the first book, The Three-Body Problem, and it did a fantastic job of being loyal and truthful to the book, which is what the fans ask for, because many of the seemingly absurdly or even slightly bordering foolish or boring scenes process are all truthfully included. And it also tried very hard to realize the world that Liu Cixin presented for us, which is cold, dull, scientific, and quite depressing. A little bit surprised when I hear comments from English-speaking people. They always mention, oh, there's a little bit of humor in the books. I didn't feel that. It's downright deep and depressing. But still, I wonder if some elements of humor can be included to lighten it up a little bit. One thing for sure is that I don't think any international production that follows can make a better version of the Cultural Revolution theme other than the Tencent.